Suffering feels endless, like we're trapped on a hamster wheel going nowhere. But why does this cycle persist across lifetimes? And how can we finally escape? Let's unravel the mystery of samsara and find a path to true liberation. Let's start by understanding what samsara truly means. Samsara is often described as the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth that encompasses all life. It's a concept found in many spiritual traditions, especially within Buddhism and Hinduism. At its core, samsara signifies the condition of suffering and dissatisfaction that pervades all worldly existence. But how exactly and why do we keep suffering within this cycle? To grasp this, we have to delve deeper into the roots of samsara. The cycle is propelled primarily by ignorance and attachment. We are ignorant of the true nature of reality, which leads us to cling to desires and aversions. We crave pleasure, we avoid pain. But these cravings never bring lasting peace or happiness. Instead, they trap us in a repetitive loop of wanting and dissatisfaction. The concept is illustrated powerfully with the metaphor of a wheel turning continuously. This wheel is the wheel of samsara, reminding us that the suffering we experience is not accidental, but inherent in the very mechanism of our existence. Each life is influenced by karma, the actions we undertake driven by our intentions. Our deeds collect like seeds, planting future experiences and circumstances. Here is a key point: samsara is not random, it is systematic. Karmic cause and effect governs the unfolding of our lives and rebirths. Yet karma itself is not punishment or reward in a straightforward way, but rather a natural consequence of our actions. Our habits, our choices create momentum that keeps the cycle spinning. To break out of samsara, we first need to recognize the illusion of permanence and separation that fuels our ignorance. We falsely believe in a permanent, unchanging self, a separate identity, residing in a body and mind. This ignorance blinds us from recognizing that everything is transient and interconnected. When we hold on to the illusion of a fixed self and separate entities, it becomes impossible to see reality clearly. We distort what is around us because we're trapped in a self-centered perspective. This feeds out attachments and aversions and perpetuates suffering. Now, the big question is, how can we stop this cycle? What practical steps lead to liberation or nirvana, the state beyond samsara? Buddhism and other teachings have a variety of methods, but central among them is mindfulness and insight meditation, which cultivate awareness of our present moment experience by observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations. Without judgment, we begin to see the impermanent nature of phenomena. We notice cravings arise and pass away, as do aversions and mental defilements. This awareness weakens their grip on us and slowly dissolves habitual patterns that keep us entangled. Another important factor is ethical conduct, compassion, and kindness. Reduce negative karma by refraining from harmful actions and cultivating positive intentions. When we act selflessly rather than from greed or anger, we stop fueling the cycle of suffering within ourselves and others. Further practice of wisdom involves deeply understanding the Four Noble Truths. These truths point out explicitly that life includes suffering. There is an origin to suffering, an end to suffering, and a path leading to that end. Recognizing and accepting these truths shifts our mindset from denial and resistance to clarity and action. This path includes the Eightfold Path, which guides right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Together, they provide a practical recipe for transforming our lives and breaking free from samsara. Another potent tool is developing compassion, not just for others, but also for oneself. When we forgive ourselves for past mistakes and extend compassion to all beings, we heal internal wounds and loosen the grip of ego. Each step of growth leads us closer to freedom. But samsara is not just a philosophical concept. It has real impacts on how we relate to life. If we are not mindful, we are likely to repeat harmful patterns in relationships, work, and emotional life. constantly chasing temporary satisfaction and experiencing disappointment. In a very practical sense, samsara is visible in addiction cycles, greed cycles, anger and resentment cycles. These repetitive behaviors demonstrate the workings of karma and habitual conditioning. Now imagine what happens when the cycle is broken, when we cultivate presence, insight, and loving kindness. Our responses to challenges become fluid and free. We no longer react from deep-seated fears or attachments, but from wisdom and compassion. We find peace within despite external circumstances. This liberation is both the end of suffering and the awakening to true nature. The journey out of samsara is often described as gradual, not sudden. It requires patience, perseverance, and courage. It also demands honest self-examination and willingness to let go of what we hold dear, including identity, stories, and desires. This path is uniquely challenging, yet profoundly rewarding. It opens the door to enduring happiness. Beyond fleeting pleasures, the idea that we may be experiencing countless lifetimes can feel overwhelming, but it also offers hope. Samsara is not a prison without escape. It is a cycle that can be transcended through understanding, practice, and transformation. Each of us has the potential to awaken and stop the endless suffering cycle. The key lies in turning inward, cultivating awareness, and living with intention. Once awakened to reality, as it is, samsara loses its power over us. We no longer identify with transient pain or pleasure. We become the still center, witnessing the flux without disturbance. This freedom is what many spiritual traditions point to as the ultimate goal, the state beyond suffering and rebirth. As we embody this understanding in our daily actions, we also contribute to a more compassionate world. The transformation is not just individual but collective. When more people awaken, the ripple effect spreads peace, kindness, and wisdom. This video is a call to consider deeply the nature of your own suffering and the habits that condition your experience. Are you ready to challenge your beliefs about yourself and the world? Are you prepared to cultivate the practices that can bring genuine liberation? Remember, the first step is awareness. The second step is the courage to change. And the journey ahead, no matter how long or difficult, is a passage toward freedom and true happiness. We discussed samsara as the cycle that traps us in suffering caused by ignorance and craving. We explored how karma perpetuates this cycle and why illusions of self keep us bound. Most importantly, we highlighted practical ways like mindfulness, ethical living, insight, and compassion to escape it. This knowledge is not just theoretical, it's a living invitation to transform your life step by step toward peace. If you found this exploration enlightening and feel curious to learn more about inner peace and spiritual growth, stay tuned and consider integrating these principles in your own life. The path is open, your freedom awaits. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this wisdom with others who may benefit from it. We'll see you in the next video.